Did you know that around 56 million students attend elementary and secondary schools every day in the United States? The majority of these students follow a traditional classroom setting where students sit in rows, listening and taking notes while the teacher stands near the whiteboard, lecturing to the entire class. You see, in a traditional classroom setting, as the teacher presents a lecture, each student responds differently. Some students get it right away, while others may be bored or need more of a challenge. Still others get frustrated and need help in understanding the lecture. In this classroom setting, every student receives the exact same information regardless of their ability levels. When students go home, they sit at their desks and do their homework, trying to remember what the teacher said in class. Some students make it most of the way through their homework, while others find it easy and fly through. Still others are lost and need help. Every student has different learning needs. This means that teachers cannot always do the best job that they can in a traditional lecture-based classroom setting. The flipped classroom approach solves these problems. Essentially, the flipped classroom is when you take traditional classroom instruction and flip it 180 degrees. For homework, you watch a video lecture or read texts. In class, you work on problems, group projects, and other collaborative activities. There are many benefits to the flipped classroom, and you can easily remember these benefits by the acronym FLIP. Flexible lectures, learning improved, increased interactions, and personalized education. The flipped classroom is flexible. This flexibility makes class time more productive. According to an article published in the ERIC journal, in the flipped classroom, students can get the most out of class time by spending it on practical application. Since the main content is now delivered at home through videos, it frees up class time for activities that make use of higher-order thinking skills of Bloom's taxonomy, like projects and labs. Furthermore, the accessibility of flipped classroom materials makes it more flexible for students to view anywhere and anytime. One common concern that some teachers in schools have is what about students who don't have access to internet at home or cannot afford a computer? Schools can resolve this problem by providing free internet access and computers through a computer lab, or by lending students flash drives with lectures downloaded in them. The flipped classroom approach improves learning outcomes and retention of material. In fact, many schools and institutions report an increase in test scores and better retention of content with the flipped classroom. The New York Times reports that students in Clinton High School, a completely flipped school, saw an improvement in GPA and test scores after the flip was implemented. Before the flip, as you can see in this infographic, more than 50% of freshmen failed English and 44% failed math. After the flip, 19% of freshmen failed English and 13% of freshmen failed math. According to Oxford Academic, a study of students in a flipped linear algebra class found that not only did the students score higher than their non-flipped classmates, but they were also able to explain their solutions in more detail. As you can clearly see from these studies, students have improved their academic performance and retention of material. Therefore, using the flipped classroom will boost learning and is more effective than the traditional lecture-based classroom approach. The flipped classroom increases student interaction with teachers and their peers. Peer instruction is used by Harvard physics professor Eric Mazur. In his class, students are given questions which they discuss in small groups before submitting their answer. Mazur acts as a guide on the side, giving feedback and guidance to struggling students. According to NPR, Mazur has seen huge results in his students' performance when he started using peer learning interactive approaches. Teachers who use peer instruction in the flipped classroom see results because it makes students think deeply about the content. As can be seen, students learn together with their peers, which increases critical thinking skills. It improves students' engagement in class because students work on group activities and assignment problems with the help of teachers and peers. Teachers have more one-on-one time with students. They circle around the class making sure students are understanding the concepts, and if the students are struggling, teachers have the time to help them. Students can get instantaneous feedback to improve, unlike a lecture-based setup. The flipped classroom targets more learning styles than lecture, benefiting students. This is because video lectures can target auditory/visual learners. The hands-on, in-class activities target kinesthetic or social learners. Targeting many learning styles clearly helps students learn better and understand the concepts faster. Students can also watch the video lectures at their own pace. They can pause, rewind, or fast-forward the videos. They can even re-watch these videos multiple times. In class, teachers can help students who are struggling and give extra help to where they see students need it the most. Considering all the benefits of the flipped classroom approach, flexible lectures, improved learning, interactive classrooms, and personalized education, compared to the traditional setting that I highlighted, I urge all of you to stop waiting and start flipping.